Oh hi, I'm Rhapsody. Right now we need to address an emergency situation right now. I had to stop everything I was doing and make this video because of this news. So this afternoon it was announced that Joe Biden is officially dropping out of the race for the election this year. So what are my thoughts on this? I'm honestly glad that he dropped out because I think that he made a decision that was best for the democracy and that was a decision that was best for the country. Because, I mean, if you take a closer look at the poll results, his poll numbers have fallen significantly. Like, his approval ratings have gone down dramatically. There is a possible chance that Kamala Harris could take over Joe Biden's position. After all, Joe Biden did recently endorse Harris to become the nominee for the Democratic candidate. And you know, while Biden was still trying to fight for re-election, the entire Democratic Party was still in crisis. And I feel like our democracy is still in crisis because we are still in danger of Donald Trump regaining power, especially after the January 6th shit, and implementing his MAGA fascist agenda into the government. And I know for a fact that a lot of people, literally anyone with a functioning brain cell, wouldn't want that. So the statement that Joe Biden issued says, and I quote, "My fellow Americans, over the past 3.5 years, we have made great progress as a nation. Today, America has the strongest economy in the world. We've made historic investments in rebuilding our nation, in lowering prescription drug costs for seniors, and in expanding affordable health care to a record number of Americans. We provided critically needed care to a million veterans exposed to toxic substances, passed the first gun safety law in 30 years, appointed the first African-American woman to the Supreme Court, and passed the most significant climate legislation in the history of the world. America has never been better positioned to lead than we are today. I know none of this could have been done without you, the American people. Together, we overcame a once-in-a-century pandemic and the worst economic crisis since the Great Depression. We've protected and preserved our democracy, and we've revitalized and strengthened our alliances around the world. It has been the greatest honor of my life to serve as your president, and while it has been my intention to seek re-election, I believe it is in the best interest of my party and the country for me to stand down and focus solely on fulfilling my duties as president for the remainder of my term. I will speak to the nation later this week in more detail about my decision. For now, let me express my deepest gratitude to all those who have worked so hard to see me re-elected. I want to thank Vice President Kamala Harris for being an extraordinary partner in all this work. And let me express my heartfelt appreciation to the American people for the faith and the trust that you have placed in me. I believe today what I always have, that there is nothing America can't do when we do it together. We just have to remember that we are the United States of America." Such powerful words. But my point still stands. I mean, for a man his age, did you really think that Joe Biden could even stand a chance against someone like Donald Trump and his extremely uneducated fan base? I mean, seriously, there are so many extremists wanting to take away rights from minorities and people like senior citizens and people of color and LGBT people. Hell, you literally have people out there literally spewing hate rhetoric against Muslims, Jews, black people, you name it. And that's one of many reasons. All of this and many more are many reasons why I do not want Trump to win a second term. But lately, I can't say that Biden would be any better. I mean, a lot of people are saying that both Trump and Biden suck, and honestly, I agree. But if Kamala Harris accepts the nomination to become the next president at the DNC next month, there could be a possible chance that she might have this one in the bag. And honestly, I'm counting on her. I just hope that Kamala Harris doesn't end up making the same mistakes that Hillary Clinton made when she first ran for president in 2016. I'm counting on her to preserve our democracy, to prevent Trump from winning a second term, and to prevent this extremist MAGA fascist ideology from taking over our government. We cannot allow America to continue becoming a nation in disarray. Or, as my great friend Zach once said, a nation in decay. Yes, the Democratic Party is in crisis, but I want you to ask yourself this question. Between voting for Kamala Harris, if she were to accept the nomination, and voting for Donald Trump, would you rather vote for a president who wants unrestricted executive power? Would you want to vote for a president who wants to replace 50,000 civil servants with loyalists? Would you want to vote for a president who would rather invoke the Insurrection Act of 1807? Would you rather vote for a president who would want to prosecute political opposition? Would you want to vote for a president who would advocate for abortion surveillance? Would you want to vote for a president who would want to ban abortion pills? Would you want to vote for a president who would want to prohibit the mailing of abortion pills? Would you want to vote for a president who would want to abolish same-sex marriage? Would you want to vote for a president who would want to forbid gay couples from adoption? Would you want to vote for a president who would want to ban transgender healthcare? Would you want to vote for a president who would want to repeal LGBT anti-discrimination laws? Would you want to vote for a president who would want to ban pornography and queer media? Would you want to vote for a president who would advocate for the mass deportation of immigrants? Would you want to vote for a president who would want to restrict legal immigration to America? Would you want to vote for a president who would want to build immigration internment camps? Would you want to vote for a president who would want to revoke birthright citizenship? Would you want to vote for a president who would want to dismantle environmental regulations? Would you want to vote for a president who would want to deny the existence of climate change? Would you want to prioritize drilling more fossil fuels? Would you want to vote for someone who would eliminate the Department of Education? Would you vote for someone who would end student loan forgiveness? Would you want to vote for a president who would want to have all the taxpayer money go to religious schools? Would you want to vote for a president who would destroy unions and collective bargaining? Would you want to vote for a president who would want to remove overtime protection laws? Would you want to vote for a president who would gut benefits for millions of workers? Would you want to vote for a president who would repeal the Affordable Care Act? Would you want to vote for a president who would advocate for the full privatization of Medicare? Would you want to vote for a president who would want to drop coverage for millions under Medicaid? If you asked me that question, I would have 3 words for you. Absolutely fucking not. And if you are still voting for Donald Trump in this year's election, then clearly you need to go to your local doctor and get your fucking brain examined, because I think it's fucking missing. And if you are voting for Donald Trump, then fuck you. You are not worthy or deserving of anyone's respect, because the political party that you are choosing to affiliate yourself with is full of fucking fascist degenerates who want to see other people suffer for no good or valid reason. Jesus Christ, I don't know how it could possibly get worse. I mean, if Joe Biden was going to stay in this race, it felt like we didn't have a choice. I would have voted independent if we didn't have fucking dog-eating RFK Jr. running. After all, this guy thinks that vaccines cause autism. Newsflash, they fucking don't. And as someone who is high-functioning on the autism spectrum, I find that notion extremely offensive and insulting. But what are your thoughts? Well, I want to know, do you think that Kamala Harris... Oh, so I keep mispronouncing that name. Fuck. I want to know your thoughts. Do you think that Kamala Harris will stand a chance against Donald Trump? Or do you think that Donald Trump will become the 47th president and win re-election? All this and more we will discuss in a future episode of the Controversy Corner when it debuts. Anyway, thank you guys so much for listening. I very much appreciate it. If you guys enjoyed this video, feel free to leave a like and subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss a beat, because I post new videos quite frequently, or pretty much whenever I feel like it. This has been Rhapsody. I'll see you next time. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other and stay blessed. Good night.